Brahmacharya Dandi Sarva Vedanta Pandita Srimad Viveka Yogi Mam Prachodayadu Sarvada. Unification, that has been a key word in Indian philosophy. How we can unify the whole universe, all the different types of energies in the universe. That has been a constant search of our great seers. So in this connection, Swamiji gave a beautiful lecture in Lahore in 1897 on 12th November. So there he speaks about the singular power of Prana. So he says, today we find wonderful discoveries of modern science coming upon us like bolts from the blue, opening our eyes to marvels we never dreamt of. But many of these are rediscoveries of what had been found ages ago. That is the importance. In our program of Love India, that is important. What we consider are very, very modern discoveries, they were already part of the Indian spiritual heritage. So, in that connection, he speaks about the unification of forces. All the forces, whether you call them gravitation or attraction or repulsion, whether expressing themselves as heat or electricity or magnetism, are nothing but the variations of that unit energy. Whether they express themselves as thought, reflected from Andakarana, the inner organs of man, or as action from an external organ, the unit from which they spring is what is called as Prana. See? So, if you ask what is Prana, this is Prana, from which all the Shaktis, energies in the universe, from where they emanate, that he calls as the Prana. This sort of a unification, the possibility of unifying the forces has come to modern science, as we have seen, only in the early part of the 20th century. But this was there very much in our spiritual science. Just as the Akasha is the infinite omnipresent material of this universe, so is the Prana the infinite omnipresent manifesting power in this universe. From thought down to the lowest force, everything is but the manifestation of Prana. The sum total of all forces in the universe, mental or physical, when resolved back to the original state, is called Prana. That is what Einstein did, no? E is equal to mc squared. He brought back all the forces back to their energy level and formulated that beautiful formula. Similarly, or much greater than that, the knowledge and control of this Prana is what is meant by pranayama. This opens to us the door to almost unlimited power. Unlimited power. Compare it with E is equal to mc squared. It gave unlimited power for destruction of the world. We must remember that. What a difference it is. This gives us unlimited power. When the yogi becomes perfect, there will be nothing in nature not under his control. All the forces of nature will obey him as slaves. What has pranayama got to do with the concentrating the powers of the mind? Breath is like the flywheel of this machine, the body. In a big engine, you find the flywheel first moving, and that motion is conveyed to finer and finer machinery until the most delicate and finest mechanism in the machine is in motion. The breath is that flywheel, supplying and regulating the motive power to everything in the body. So, from this prana, all the other, each and every cell in our body, each and every metabolic activity in our body, they get charged from this prana shakti. The breath is that flywheel, supplying and regulating the motive power to everything in the body. So go back. So when you control the prana, what happens? You get control over the whole mechanism of the body. Just as the whole universe has been generalized in the Vedas into one absolute existence, and he who has grasped the existence has grasped the whole universe, so all the forces have been generalized into this prana, and he who has grasped the prana has grasped all the forces of the universe, mental and physical. That is the importance of pranayama. He who has controlled the prana has controlled his own mind and all the minds that exist. Sometimes we feel, how these great people know what is happening in my mind. Somebody goes in front of Sri Ramakrishna says, as though you have kept something in a glass case. Like that I can understand your mind, your personal details. So, one who has the control over the prana has got the control over everybody's prana. In this universe, there is one continuous substance on every plane of existence. Physically, this universe is one. There is no difference between the sun and ourselves. Just as in a rushing stream, there may be millions of whirlpools, but they are all connected together. Every bubble in an ocean is connected with the ocean. In the same way, the whole universe is one constantly changing mass of matter, in which all forms of existence are so many whirlpools. If we can just think and sort of meditate, the whole universe moving about and we are also part of it. Kalosmi lokakshe karat pravruddha. Bhagavan says in Bhagavad Gita, I am that Kala which moves the whole of this universe. So it will be a very beautiful expansion to meditate. We are just part of a huge mission, a very tiny particle in that mission, but still we are part of that mission. In an ocean, there are huge waves like mountains, then smaller waves and still smaller down to the little bubbles. But back of all these is the infinite ocean. Wherever there is life, the storehouse of infinite energy is behind it. That is how he says each soul is potentially divine. This whole divinity which is there in the universe is at the back of every jiva. Whether it is the smallest amoeba or the greatest Buddha or Sri Krishna, the whole universe with its energy content is behind you. The whole science of yoga is directed to the end of teaching. Then how? By intensifying the power of assimilation to shorten the time of reaching perfection. That is, if we are left to ourselves, we will have to go through many births and deaths before we come to this awareness. But yoga will take you, it is as though you were traveling from here to Delhi. You can go by walking as they did in olden days, or you can take next, probably it must have been a small vehicle, small bullock cart or a horse cart. But then later came trains, then now we have planes, and now we have Rafales, which will take us in no time. So that is what happens. When you have control over yourself, your time is shortened. The whole science of yoga is directed to the end of teaching men how, by intensifying the power of assimilation, to shorten the time for reaching perfection. So beautiful. Who can reach perfection, the more you assimilate yoga, the more and more you are nearing to perfection. That is, for us, the climb of Jnana Yoga. Existence without knowledge and love cannot be. Knowledge without love and love without knowledge cannot be. What we want is a harmony of existence, knowledge and bliss infinite. Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham.